Hey guys, welcome to my... Please help me. I'm trying to help people out here. Okay. Unfortunately, the guy next door decided he wanted to mow his lawn right when I wanted to film. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know, my name is LeAnn Donoso, and today I'm going to be doing a video on my top 10 most helpful Bible verses. Honestly, I don't even know if these are just top 10, like they're not in any order, but these are just 10 Bible verses that are really helpful and that can definitely change your life if you let them. Okay, so I am going to go over each one individually and kind of tell you why I like it and why it's a great one to know, because they're great reminders for me and I think they'll be great to share with you guys. So I'm just going to go right into the video. Bible verse number 1, Proverbs 3:27 through 30. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is in your power to act. Do not say to your neighbor, come back later, I'll give it tomorrow, when you now have it with you. Do not plot harm against your neighbor who lives trustfully near you. Do not accuse a man for no reason when he has done you no harm. I just think this is a really good verse personally, just because, you know, the first part really gets to me. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it, because a lot of the times we do things out of like anger and frustration, and we not necessarily plot harm. I mean, this was written a long time ago, but we do things because we're angry and because someone is just like, we're mad at them, when honestly no one deserves that. Everybody deserves to just be loved and be helped, and if you are capable of helping someone, you should always make sure that that's what you're trying to accomplish. Second verse is Proverbs 13:3. He who guards his lips guards his life, but he who speaks rashly will come to ruin. I think this is a really good one because it just reminds us that what we say really goes a long way, and our words can hurt or they can be really powerful. And just in general, as long as we're making sure that what comes out of our mouth, we think about it before we say it, first of all, but just that what we say holds a lot of power. And so you want to be careful with what you do with that power, because you can either speak really well about someone or you can speak really harshly about someone, and those are just the two different kind of ways that you can look at it. And it just overall, it can really hurt relationships with people by what you say, and it can hurt people that you're talking about. What you say and your words hold a lot of power, so make sure you're doing the right thing with that power. The third Bible verse is Matthew 7:1 through 2. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. I really like this one just because a lot of the times we look around and we kind of just, oh, that girl has funny hair, or that guy has funny teeth, or he walks weird, or whatever. And that's a form of judgment. How we base our opinions about people, that's judging someone for how they look. Maybe they talk funny, maybe they have just a weird personality, I don't know, just anything like that. If you're judging someone, then I truly believe that that's how people are going to react to you. If you are always judging other people, always putting yourself above them, always thinking, oh, they're this, they're that, that's kind of you saying, I'm better than that and that, because you're assuming that those attributes are wrong, and so that's going to come back at you. So just let people be, don't judge people. And obviously these are just Bible verses, so this isn't like, oh, I'm perfect, I do all of these things. No, this is just me saying that these are what I look at when I need to be reminded of how I should treat other people. The fourth Bible verse is Matthew 6:34. So it's basically the verse before the last verse that I just said. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. So I love this because I tend to do this a lot, and I know personally people with anxiety, this is a really hard thing to accept and to understand. And that's just, honestly, I go to sleep and I think about all the things I have to do tomorrow, or throughout the day I'm like, crap, I have to do this tomorrow, that tomorrow, and you just start to just build up all of this that you have to do, all of this that you have to do, and then the day that you're actually in starts to feel stressful and feel difficult when you're worrying about things that are irrelevant to what you're doing right now. And so that's kind of just a reminder to me, and I hope it helps other people just to know that You don't need to worry about tomorrow because tomorrow already has a lot of worries of its own, and today even has a lot of worries of its own. So just focus on today, focus on what you're doing right now, and that's gonna really help you out a lot. The fifth Bible verse is Revelation 3:7-8. To the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, "These are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key of David. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can open. I know your deeds. See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and have not denied my name." So this is just kind of a reminder that God will open and close doors so very often. It's almost like you're just getting doors slammed in your face, but you just gotta know that there's always a right path for you, and sometimes you see into a door that you absolutely love and it's incredible, but maybe that's not the door for you. And although it looks so magical and so amazing, it might not be the path that you should be on. So just a reminder that God will open and shut doors, and he'll keep doors closed that should not be open, and he'll open doors and he'll leave them open, and you'll be like, no, 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 but that's the door. He's like, come on, let's go, let's go. So like, you know, just for me, it's a reminder of that. As much as I want things in life, I know that there's a path that I'm supposed to be on, and so as much as you can, just pray and try to listen for what God is telling you, to just stay on those paths and open those doors. Bible verse number 6, Matthew 5:44. "But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." So the reason I really like this verse is just because we all feel a lot of hate towards people that offend us. I'm not gonna lie, if someone calls me a mean name, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, let's be friends. You know what I mean? That's kind of, it's just not, it's common sense. But you also can't be hateful and have hatred towards those people. And so what God says and what he reminds us is to pray for those people, because you don't know what's going on in their life. They may be using that as an outlet to just, you know, show anger towards you, to get away from whatever they're going through, anything like that. And so that's kind of just a reminder, is to love your enemies, and it doesn't mean like love them, like, but you have to show love and show compassion, because everyone deserves that. No matter how they treat you, you should always give love in return. Speaking of love, the seventh Bible verse is 1 Corinthians 13:4-13. "Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when perfection comes, the imperfect disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put childish ways behind me. Now we see but a poor reflection as in a mirror, then we shall see face to face. Now I am in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love." So the second part of that is kind of weird, it's hard to understand, but I'm kind of focusing on just like what love is. When you know what love is, it's really easy to give love, because you know what you can be providing to people and giving out. Patience. Just giving out patience to people, that's giving them love. And I think that's really amazing. That's something I've been working on personally, is even just, okay, this is such a terrible example, but it really helps me. When you're waiting for someone outside, and when you're in a rush, when someone is in a rush and they're running late, the worst thing that you can do is say, oh my God, we're gonna be late, you gotta hurry up, you gotta hurry up. Because they're already upset that they're running late. Like, who's not upset when they're running late? You know what I mean? And so just by giving them patience, which now we know is giving them love, you're gonna be providing them with that satisfaction of just like, okay, it's all right, you know, let's get it together, let's go, we're late, but we're gonna go, you know, and everything's gonna be fine. And you're reassuring them that, because the panic that people have, but you don't want to just add to that. You have to give them love, you have to show patience and kindness. And then it is not easily angered. People who get mad easily, you know, that's not showing love. You got to show compassion, you got to be calm with people. It always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Always trust. By trusting someone, you're giving them your love. By hoping in someone, believing in someone, you're giving them your love. Faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. And by providing all of those things to people, you're going to be giving them love. And I think that this is one of my favorite verses because of that, is because I can read this and I can literally see a list of things that I can work on to show love better. Bible verse number 8, Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous, do not be terrified, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. I've had a lot of times where in life I've just felt kind of alone, maybe lost friends, maybe, death has happened, maybe you are struggling in school, struggling at work, and you just feel like the world's kind of against you. And that's relatable. That happens to everyone, I'm pretty sure. At least it happens to me. So if it's happened to you, then I can relate to you, because sometimes that does happen and you feel alone and you feel like the world is against you. And so when I like reading this verse is because I'm reminded that He's going to be with me wherever I go. No matter if someone leaves me, or a family member leaves me, or if, let's say, I get fired from a job, or let's say I get kicked out of school, or whatever, no matter what goes on, He's always going to be there, and He's always going to be there to protect you and to hold you and to care for you. And that's really reassuring to know that you have someone that's never, ever, ever going to be gone. Never, ever, ever going to leave you. That's powerful. And for me, that means a lot. So that's the reason why I love reading that verse. I love being reminded of that. Bible verse number 9 is Ephesians 4:31. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ God forgave you. I love this one because of the ending, just about forgiveness, about how God was so incredible and He gave us all that forgiveness for what our sins have become and what we do on a daily basis. But it's hard for us to look at someone else with that kind of compassion and think, hey, I know they messed up, I should forgive them because that's what was given to me, I'm going to pass it on. You know what I mean? And so I like this verse because, like I said, all these verses are just reminders, and that's why I read them, is because I like to be reminded of these things. Obviously, everyone makes mistakes, and so if you're just going to use those mistakes and let them add up and add up and add up, that's just going to be all of the hate adding up inside of you. By letting go and just forgiving, like, hey, I don't agree with what you did, or I don't like that you did that, but I'm going to forgive you, that's called strength, and I think that's a lot more powerful than letting it all add up and whatever. Just showing forgiveness is amazing. And the last verse, the last verse. This is my favorite verse of all verses. This one kind of just goes over literally everything that I just said in general, and this has been my favorite verse since maybe my freshman year of high school, so for like 7 or 8 years now. I've memorized this verse because it means so much to me when I'm out in my day. I can just remember it and think, hey, I could work on this. So, my dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, for man's anger does not bring about the righteous life that God desires. This is amazing because just take it in. Quick to listen. So that means that when people are listening to you, you're quick to listen. You always want to hear what's going on. When someone's asking you something, listen. When someone's telling you something, listen. Slow to speak. And I kind of went over this in a previous verse. Slow to speak, meaning you think before you speak. You're slow. You don't always just want to jump in and say something. I struggle with that. And slow to become angry, because man's anger does not bring about the righteous life that God desires. And I also struggle with this, getting angry easily. You got to just take a step back, relax, and understand, anger is an ugly emotion. And if we're able to just not get angry, obviously that's easier said than done, but these are just reminders for you. So those are my top 10 most favorite Bible verses that have helped me tremendously in my life, and they continue to help me, so I'm glad that I was able to share them with you guys. I really hope this video helped you guys. If you liked it, definitely give it a thumbs up, and also if you want any more of these kinds of videos, the Bible does have 31,102 verses in it, so I can definitely come up with more for you guys. And definitely hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel, and we can be, BFFs. The Bible has some incredible learning and teaching advice inside of it, so just get one. Honestly, my Bible is really old. Shout out to Jenny Spear and Mike Spear and Brandon Spear, because they got this for me December of 2008. So this Bible is 9 years old. Oh my gosh. 9 years old. So I got it when I was 11 and I still have it, and it's full of all kinds of goodies.
It's full of secrets.
Hey, what's happening?
If you don't have a Bible, definitely get one. Mine is NIV version, so I read all of the verses in NIV if you were wondering, or if you were confused because maybe you heard the same verse just in a different version. That is why. I'm such a nerd. That's okay. Hey, that guy stopped mowing his lawn. Thank God. I can go.